Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. The last few programs that I shared with you, beginning from Mr. Julius Tillman, about the classes in Manhattan that Mr. Cowan gave to the professional people, to the scientists, and Rabbi Mindel, the Rebbe wanted to have, the previous Rebbe wanted to have a detailed report. We spoke about it. You have to listen to the other program before this one. And the story that the Frierdiker Rebbe said, and thus they were in awe from that story that I shared with you last week. So today I want to share with you that our Rebbe, he was called the Ramash, wrote down, and he said to Rabbi Mindel, that this should be discussed in the class. The questions and answers, and they had a whole discussion. This is, I guess, what they needed. So I'm going to just discuss this question today and the answer. The other ones, we will leave it for next time, or like the other one was a question, why when God created the world, why does it say Kitoiva was good? We know that everything the Eibishter does is good. So that's something that the Rebbe went into a few pages. We're not going to do that today. Also, there was a question that the Eibishter, God created worlds before this world, and He destroyed. Why did God have to destroy? You mean He made a mistake? The Rebbe went into that, which we're not going to go into that. But today we will go into a question that the Rebbe asked, and we'll concentrate in this question. I will read this from inside, again, from a handwriting from the Rebbe. So I want to, and I'm translating this into English. So I'll read to you the Hebrew, the way the Rebbe wrote, word for word, and the translation. Shaila, Mahu tam hashinu shebeyoim rishon, ba'amiras kitoiv, Perish vayara lekim es ha'ir kitoiv, Masha'inkim b'shar hayomim shenem stam vayara lekim kitoiv. The question is, it says in the Torah, the end of every creation, first day, second day, third day, that Hashem saw it was good. What's the reason that the first day He said vayara lekim es ha'ir? He underlined the word oir, the light that was good. How come in the other days He doesn't say Vayara Lekim, that God saw that the animals were good, or God saw that the tree was good, or the moon was good? Why doesn't He say that? Why B'dafka, by the first day He stresses Dafka what was good, the oil, the light? This was the question that the Rebbe asked. Continue the Rebbe's handwriting. Teshuva, Bayoim Harishan Libriyo, Hu klolus habriyo, me'ayin hamuchlet liyesh. Uveshar hayomim nitan liyesh ze tzurois shoynois, deshoyim chayos v'cholhu. Okay? Now I'll translate that. The answer. On the first day, there was the general creation, the Rebbe says, from absolute nothing to something, yesh me'ayin. But that something did not have any form yet. It was just a plain matter. On the rest of the days, forms were given to this something, vegetation, animals. It's like this is how the Rebbe starts answering. That the first day, it was like, I would say, like we read a couple of weeks ago, that Rabbi Mindel answered Mr. Stillman's question, did God create the world with machshove, with thought, or with speech? So he said with both, because you could be machshove. So in the first day, everything was included, but it didn't come down to actual ma'aseh. Then the Rebbe continues. Bayoim harishain nivru gamke nivroim klolim, oir, choshech, eish, ruach, mayim, ofor, v'kayetze bezeh. In addition to the idea of creation being the first day, Yash Mi'ayin, Also, the first day was created, a general creation. What was it? Choshech, light and dark, fire, air, water, earth, and the like. V'hinei, kol habriya ha'ilches u'mishtalemes mimadrege lemadrege yoser elyeno. The entire creation is constantly advancing from one level to a higher level. And the Rebbe will give soon an example. We don't understand what that means yet. He'll soon what to say. That kol habriya is always advancing everything in the creation. Bichlal, the Rebbe says, kol habriya nechlekes lechelik chiyuvi v'chelik shlili. In general, the entire creation is divided into two aspects. The aspect of positive, acting, doing, when something is happening, and an aspect of not doing. When the thing that is happening stops happening, this is also a creation, as we're going to explain soon. V'gam chelik hashlili muchrach ki yefsher lilbosh tzura chadosha koidem sheyavshi tzura shelifnei zeh kishehu mufshot zehu shlila. What does that mean? Now the doing aspect is certainly necessary in creation, because without that nothing is happening. So that's part of it. But also the not doing, the stopping of happening aspect is necessary in creation. Why? Because it's not possible to give a form in something without first taking off its previous form. And that taking off the previous form is an idea of stopping happening. That's a shlila. That's a negative. So that you need also. And now we will understand what the Rebbe means by giving an example. Again, this was something that the Rebbe wanted should be discussed in that class. Dugma, if shel livnas heichel melech b'makim sheshinu beis ikar Aleph Yud Kof Reish Kim ayidei sheyaharsu mikedem beis ha'ikar. If shall lavit kudeboy lemave kim achari shino mizman lizman haynu heder avodo vishtalmus aval heder ze muchrachu. What does that mean? For example, it's not possible to build a king's palace in the very spot where there stands a peasant's house. You can't build. You have to first destroy the house. First, you have to destroy the peasant's house, and only then you can build a palace. So that destroying is also important. Another similar, it's not possible to work properly unless you sleep from time to time, resting, which is the opposite of work and advancement. You have to work. A person is created to work. But how can you work without sleep? So the not sleep was also created, is also important. That's called the shlila. But this is not happening. Destroying, resting is necessary if there is to be happening, building, working. This is one example. Then the Rebbe gives a more abstract example. B'dakas yoser. Yelet Chocham Hamaschil Lilmud Misasek Belimud Chochmas Cheshben mathematics. Mitchila Osku Chibur Chosur Kefal Bechiluk. Veise Kame Targilim Umein Bozer. Kavur Zman Tzorich Lahavsik Meiska HaKoidem V'loi made algebra. Equation Kayitzu Bozer. Kavur Zman Tzorich lahavsik gamize, ki muchsha sichle la'algebra ha'gavoy v'chein. Okay. A more abstract example: a smart child who begins to learn and he's involved in learning mathematics, first he's involved with plus, minus, times, and division, and gets used to it and is involved in it. But he can't stay by that. He has to go away from this. He must stop this involvement and move to learn algebra, equation, and the like. After that, he must stop also this because his mind is ready for advanced algebra and so on. So the stopping, even though it's important, plus or minus, but that stopping is also important. That's called the shlila, because then he won't be able to grow. V'hinei, etzem ha'afsoka hu inyan shlili, ava muchrach lishtalmusei. The actual stopping is a negative thing, but it's necessary for advancement. Because if he's going to stay on the same level, then he will never advance. Another thing we learned from this. All the above teaches us another thing. Not only by not having this negative thing will he not advance to a higher level, but what was previously considered an advancement in the present level is considered a lack, and one must negate that. In other words, stopping one thing is not only a necessary negative. In order to reach higher, it actually prevents you from falling lower, from not reaching the full potential. Wow. Now he goes to the answer of light. Why it says b'dafke light in the first day and not the other days, what it was. Oir is the chiyuvi, not the shlili. Choshech b'muvan hayoser rochav zeu chelik hashlili shebebriya. Ushneya mochrachim kanal ba'arucha. Based on all above, we can answer the question because light in its broadest sense means the happening aspect of creation. And darkness is the broadest sense, means the stopping of creation, the aspect of creation. And both are necessary, they're vital, as explained above. So when the Rabbi created the world, Brishis Bora Lekimus Hashemayim Voretz Hoysa Soyev Avoy V'Choshech Apnei Zayim. So first was Choshech, because in order to get the oil, it was Choshech to get rid of the Choshech, but you needed the Choshech to be oil. Yisrin ha'oil mitoich ha'choshech. When do you appreciate light? But you need Choshech to appreciate the light. I mean, this is something. I mean, the Rabbi wanted that this should this should be taught to the people. Then the Rebbe says like this: Hachiluk b'neihem. What's the chiluk? Chiluk hachiyuvi oir hu toiv mitzad atzmai, and the Rebbe underlined toiv mitzad atzmai. Chiluk hashlili choshech eine ela hachon el oir, aval eine toiv mitzad atzmai. The difference between them is the happening light is good because of itself. Light of itself is good. However, the not happening, darkness aspect is only a preparation to light. V'zeu shebesipur klolos habriya hachiyu v'ashlili shazeh hoya b'yoyim harishin galilon kro. The Torah reveals v'yar elokim es ha'oir davke the chelik chiyuvi kitoiv be'etzem ulamitose hayni toiv metaratzmai. Oir is toiv metaratzmai. Mashenken the shlili choshech av shagam umuchrach b'briya kanal. And this is why when the Torah tells us the story of the general creation, the light and dark, the doing and not doing aspect of creation, which this was on the first day, the pasuk teaches us, and Hashem saw the light that it was good. It's only the light which truly is good. For it's good because of itself. Not so the stopping the happening, the darkness of creation. Which although it's vital, it's not truly good. Because it's only a preparation for the light. So that's why it says the word toif. And this is the first lesson that the Rebbe wrote to this. He gave it to Rabbi Mindel, and Rabbi Mindel should explain this. And from this discussion, I remember Rabbi Mindel telling me they were probably on this topic maybe quite a few weeks. On every topic that the Rebbe wrote. In Mitzvah Hashem, next time we will read another topic what the Rebbe wanted to be discussed in that group. Thank you.